Square Enix reports that Final Fantasy XV has sold 5 million units in its first 24 hours of release. 5 million. Yes, it's done it. Now, of course, I'm really happy about that. I'm thrilled. I wanted this game to do well, but I will be objective about this target. I won't fangirl too much, even though I really just want to, because this is fantastic. Let's just put that out there. This is fantastic. This is absolutely above and beyond what even Square Enix were expecting. Their 10 million sales goal. If they've done 5 million in 24 hours, is pretty much being said all over the internet. Yep, it's in the bag, and it will be, because the 10 million sales, that's 12 months. So they're already halfway there in 24 hours. The pitch off, the decline, the drop off rate is never that steep. Pretty much with any video game, even the ones that get dog shit reviews of 5 and 6 out of 10, typically they've always maintained a steady enough rate to at least, you know, get another 50% sales on top of that in the other 364 days. So the 10 million sales is in the bag. It just is. I'll eat my damn hat on camera. And there are so many people who must be la salt. I just know there were so many people who wanted Final Fantasy XV to fail. So you can kiss my ass. It hasn't. Now going into it, right, that's the bragging and the gloating over. I did call it that it would make 10 million units. A lot of people didn't think it would. I think Final Fantasy Union also said they believe it would hit 10 million units. And that belief wasn't just off of fanboyism. It wasn't just blind fanboy, oh, it will do well. That was looking at the hype that was surrounding it. That was looking at all the downloads for the demos, all of the trailers, all of the events, even just the general hype that I've seen. I've got so many friends in my friendship group who have never played a Final Fantasy, and so many of them have now got it. And it was just so clear that Final Fantasy XV, and it's even helped that it's had the title of the game that's taken 10 years to develop. Even though that's not accurate or true, it's only taken 4, that title has probably been what swept it to the top spot. It's that game that took 10 years. And I've just had so many people personally ask about this game, so many friends who are now playing their first Final Fantasy as 15. It was so clear that this was going to do well, and it was so much more than what even Final Fantasy XIII had. That had quite a hype build-up period, and that sold 7 million units. Now, with events like Uncovered, with all the trailers, with all the ATRs, with all the general turnouts, the views on all of those things, it was so obvious that this was going to do well, better than Final Fantasy XIII. Now, with it being 5 million sales, just getting into some facts now, that does smash, historically, the best first day digital sales in Japan. Now, I know there's going to be some haters who are going to come here and say it hasn't sold 5 million, that's just what it's sold to retailers. That's not entirely true. Parts of that are true. You know, not all of those are sales in the bag. The retailers' sales are being included in that, so that's not necessarily what the retailers have shipped off of their shelf. But that doesn't detract from, in these figures, there is the digital sales involved, there is the sales that are direct from Square Enix. So the retailers are a very small fraction, and they're going to sell them off the shelf. People who try to discredit this as being nothing but a phenomenal result for Final Fantasy XV, you're bullshitting. You're being salty, you're being a hack, and you're just trying to blind yourself to the fact that 5 million, that actually makes even the 6th best Final Fantasy ever sold. Right now, it's already got 6th, and Final Fantasy VII in its first year only sold 7 million units. Same with Final Fantasy XIII. You know, they were kind of tied. That's what a lot of people don't get. Final Fantasy XIII was a huge success. That sold 7 million units. FF7 only got about 7.5, so they were kind of tied. Final Fantasy XV is going to be the best sold Final Fantasy ever in history, that is guaranteed. But just looking to see how that's doing against sort of the rest of the market. Now, we have to bear in mind that RPGs only populate around about 10% of the overall demographic of games that are played. RPGs are much smaller scales than, say, shooters, your GTAs, that's understandable. So nothing for a long time will ever beat Grand Theft Auto 5, which sold 12 million units in its first day. 12 million. Nothing will ever come close to that. Nothing's even come close to half of that. GTA 5 was an absolute phenomena. But looking at the rest of this list, so this is on the list of fastest selling products on Wikipedia. Looking at it here, going through it quickly, Diablo 3, 6.3 million units first week, 4 million units for Pokemon X, Y, Z on Nintendo 3DS. 2 days. 2.7 million units first week for Wii games. PS4, Uncharted 4 only sold 2.7 million in its first week. Just look at that, guys. Uncharted 4, 2.7 million in its first week, and Final Fantasy 15 is 5 million in 24 hours. Shit just got real. And then going on from there, the others is smartphones and derpy games like Angry Birds and Tetris and Candy Crush. I'm not even going to count those, but the long story short is, guys, that Final Fantasy 15 has nailed it, especially in Japan and Asian regions. We haven't yet got the breakdown of Western sales versus Eastern sales, so I can't even sort of speculate on how well it's doing in the West compared to the East. But the main takeaway is that Final Fantasy 15 has 364 days to make its other 50%. A lot of people are going to say, oh well, you know, it may or may not reach that. We can argue that all day. Some people say that's based on the reviews, how the reviews will look. I'm not even going to talk about the reviews just yet. I've seen some of the reviews, 8, 8.5, some of them 9s, 4.5s out of 5s. There's a mixed bag. Personally, I don't like looking at reviews this early because they're reviews I don't respect, and this is just me personally. All these fucking derpy review websites who they rush through the game as quickly as possible. They get it, they try to complete it in 30-40 hours, the absolute minimalistic playthrough possible, so they can get their shitty little review out online and they can feel informed and they can do their job and they can move on to the next title and review that. This game is a game about experience, about taking the time, about exploration, about enjoying the journey. And if you're a person who's rushing through it, I don't feel like you're in a position to give it a really informed review. Now, some people might disagree with me there, but that's my opinion. So I don't think it's a long stretch at all. And by the way, this isn't just me saying this. This is all of the articles. Go check them out. No, just go on your news feed for Final Fantasy, type in Final Fantasy Guide News, all of the articles there that are saying it's 5 million sales. Therefore, based on those numbers, it's 10 million, it's pretty much in the bag. Not just me saying it, that the articles are saying it as well. And I'm fucking hyped about it. I'm hyped about it, I don't care. I'm not going to try to sit here and pretend I'm not, okay? Fuck you, you salty little bitches who wanted this to fail. It didn't. It nailed it. It smashed the sales. It smashed the online records. Historically, it's done it. And where does this put Final Fantasy as a franchise? On track. Final Fantasy VII Remake, FF16, Square Enix are rolling in the money. Like I said, champagne, hookers, cocaine in the office. It's happening. Tabata is already sat there dreaming about how he's going to spend all that dollar. And he's already preparing to be the director for FF16. Because, guys, I said this previously on the stream, there was an article on BBC News. Tabata did an interview and he directly said that how this game does on sales, 15, that will decide his future and involvement as a director going forward. I think this has pretty much secured him as a director on the team. The Crisis Core remaster could happen. FF16 could happen. Type Next could happen. It's looking good, guys. I'm off to now set up for another live stream because I'm enjoying the crap out of this game. For everyone who's asking how you find it, FF15, it's dope, guys. I'm enjoying it. I am enjoying it. The storyline I've not touched much because I'm doing all the hunts, I'm doing everything. But there it is on the table, guys. 5 million sales in 24 hours. And if you try to come at me and say that they're not official sales, they're just what the retailer bought out or got shipped to retailers, fuck you, you're being a hack. Final Fantasy 15 has smashed it. This news is huge. Until the next video, Kumo!